2 pounds and over. Welcome, everybody. I'm Lon McCarron, along with Mike Sawyer. And Mike Schuster, the title holder, comes in with 19 KOs in his 19 wins, but he's on foreign soil now. Mike, can that play a negative role in his pursuit to defend?
Well, Kurt Schuster is no stranger to fighting in France, but when you're not on your home turf, you're always at something of a disadvantage because of the crowd. La Bonheur is known to draw strength from the crowd. That could be a factor tonight.
Schuster from the United States, Seattle, Washington, with the shaved head. Le Bonheur from Le Havre, France. Been around kickboxing for a while, and he is built.
A lot of action early on in the first round. Le Bonheur setting the pace of the action. Crisp hand combinations in the corner, no real damage. Le Bonheur coming into this fight as the #1 contender in the world for Schuster's title. This is a super heavyweight Muay Thai division. Kicks anywhere below the waist except the groin are allowed. Knee strikes to the body are allowed. No elbows will be used in this match.
And the traditional Muay Thai music setting the tone for this fight. You hear it in the background. The Muay Thai style fighting really brings out the crowd.
Le Bonheur just showed us his quickness with that right hand off the break. Big man, weighs 242 pounds coming into this fight. Not known for his quickness, but he worked heavily on it before this fight.
Schuster usually fights around 225, so he is giving away some weight. And Le Bonheur looks to be in a little bit better shape than Schuster does coming into this fight, Mike.
And this clinching inside, the referee is not breaking them because in the Muay Thai division you're allowed to do that. He will break them if the action inside stops. When they clinch, that's when you'll see the knee strikes to the body. If they stop knee striking, he'll pull them apart. Schuster weighed in at 220 for this fight. A little bit heavy from what we've seen him in his last few fights.
Unlike most of the ISKA kickboxing, what you see on Strikeforce, the Muay Thai has 3-minute rounds. The other styles will have 2 minutes, but these are 3-minute rounds in the Muay Thai division.
And that's a big factor, Lon, if they're not used to it. Most of Le Bonheur's fights have not been 3-minute rounds, but 2 minutes.
There is round 1. We'll be back. Le Bonheur's corner, not quite as quick as the referee might want, but we are round 2. Championship fight. The Cat Schuster right now holds the belt. Le Bonheur trying to take it away.
Le Bonheur, noticeably the faster of the two fighters. A little surprising. Again, not known for his quickness. Schuster, we've seen him very fast in his previous bouts. He looks a little sluggish tonight, Lon.
Perhaps he's been in Paris too long, Mike. It has a tendency to do that to you.
Schuster fought here last fall. Decision win over Jeff Rufus in Marseille. Nice front kick by Schuster, backed Le Bonheur up, but we don't see the follow-up from Schuster we normally do.
Lebaner really seems to be controlling the tempo and the style of this fight so far, Mike.
He seems to be initiating the action, and then he finishes the action at the end. He'll start things out. He'll let Schuster get in a few licks, and then he'll counterpunch very effectively. Very impressed by Lebaner's strategy to this point.
We've seen it a number of times. We've seen it happen. If the champion is not keen to what's going on, the challenger will come in much more hungry. And that can spell the difference when you've got even strength.
Looks to me like Schuster may have just taken Lebaner too lightly. Lebaner had no big wins to his credit, although he was a #1 contender. He had not beaten Jeff Rufus yet. Rufus was dropped to #2 when he lost to Schuster.
But Schuster is not champion for nothing. He knows what it takes to win. He's gotten to this point. He's got the belt. I'm sure his corner will assess the damage, change strategy, and go right after Lebaner.
Well, his trainer, Kurt Jensen out of Seattle, Washington, is one of the best. If there's anyone that can change this fight around, it will be him. Not to say that Schuster, oh, nice right hand.
Schuster's hurt. So right at the end of round 2, Lebaner gets Schuster in trouble. Schuster's corner is active. Damage control time, Mike.
That punch near the end of that last round by Lebaner did heavy damage to Schuster. There we see it from this angle. Notice Schuster's left hand very low. Notice the lack of reaction after the first punch. Here from this angle, his left arm's extended. Lebaner comes right over top. Schuster ducks but does not bring the left hand up. That's a sure sign that he's on in the twilight zone after that punch. Now, we've seen Schuster get hit hard before and come back. All great champions can do that, but there's no way that that punch will not affect Kurt Schuster for the rest of this bout.
Perhaps more telling than the first punch was that Lebaner was able to get off a very effective second punch as well. Schuster was defenseless.
Seems that Lebaner has prepared very well for this fight. He doesn't seem surprised that he's landing like that on Schuster. Even after a punch like that, he's ready to follow up. He also seems to know that Schuster's not going to go down easily, and it's going to take combinations to put him down. Notice also the conditioning of Lebaner. We're into the third round here. These are long rounds. Lebaner seems as fresh as the first round. You can see the uncertainty on Kurt Schuster's face. Doesn't look like he really knows what he should attack with.
This is scheduled for 5 rounds, 5 3-minute rounds in the Muay Thai division.
Again, Lebaner capitalizing on Schuster dropping the left hand. Not nearly as much damage there a moment ago from that punch, but Lebaner is on top of every opportunity. They're using his superior weight to lean on Schuster. That takes a lot out of a fighter as the rounds go on.
Some intimidation as well. You saw after he leaned on him, he stared into Schuster's eyes as if to say, I've got you.
Again, straight left hand by Lebaner. Caught Schuster right on the chin. Backed him up momentarily. All these punches are going to take their toll in the final 2 rounds.
You can see the status of a fight so often in the fighter's eyes. And if you saw the eyes of Jerome Lebanaire, you saw he had the eyes of a champion. Schuster is the champion now. Needs to get off the stick if he wants to keep that belt. We're through 3 rounds. Schuster may be a little bit more active, but Lebanaire still taking the fight to Curtis.
Well, I think that Schuster's corner has to be telling him that he has to win these last 2 rounds and win them decisively to take a decision win. And I don't think that Schuster has what it takes to knock Lebanaire out, and I don't think his corner is going to be telling him to do that.
Okay.
Sammy Kepchi giving instructions there to Lebanaire. We don't know what he's saying. It's in French, but I would guess he's telling him to keep going forward.
One thing he did say is maintenant. That means now. Do it now.
A replay from round 3. And Lebanaire initiating the action. Schuster taking the punches first, trying to counter just a little too slow. Lebanaire, very good strategy, tying Schuster up inside, neutralizing the knee strikes to the body, backing up and counter punching.
Round 4 of 5 scheduled rounds from Paris, France on Strikeforce. Super heavyweight title fight.
This has not been the Kurt Schuster that we know in the ring tonight. Completely ineffective with his low kicks. Always a little too slow on his punches. That reversal by Lebanaire just helped to illustrate his dominance in this bout so far. Moved Schuster with his back to the rope instead of Lebanaire.
This might be the point of the fight where Schuster, though, is most dangerous. A champion, a desperate champion at that. Needs to pull out all the stops.
They say it's better to have never been a champion than to have been one and lost the title. I can't imagine a competitor like Kurt Schuster laying down on a fight at this point and not trying his hardest for the remainder. I would look for him in the last part of this round and the final 5th round to be going for the knockout. I don't think he can win on points at this stage. That determination that you mentioned, Lon, we see it in Lebanaire's eyes. Has not slowed down a bit.
To take away a title, a fighter has to be animated. Lebanaire is. The cat, on the other hand, listless, lethargic, doesn't seem to have a game plan. Good left by Schuster, but he takes as well as he gives.
Schuster took 5 punches by Lebanaire that all landed sharply. Fortunately for Schuster, a lot of these punches are landing on the top of his head. He's ducking a little bit. That's sparing him some of the damage he would suffer if they landed on the chin or the jawbone.
The chant of Jerome, Jerome from the hometown French fans, urging Lebanaire on. Kurt Schuster has 1 round to go to try to hang on to his Muay Thai belt. We'll be back with the final round right after this.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
It sits right here. You sit down, you wait. As soon as he throws that sloppy jab, straight down the pipe.
Okay.
Don't let yourself down.
Here, Kirk Jensen telling Schuster, basically, he has to win by a knockout. Now, that shows the power Kurt Schuster has, but it also shows that Labonaire takes punches and keeps on coming. You saw that one coming. You saw him close his eyes a little bit, move his head with the punch. He's done that this entire fight. It's made Schuster's punches largely ineffective.
This is the 5th and final round of this super heavyweight Muay Thai championship bout. Jerome Labonaire on the left, Curtis Schuster, the champion, on the right. You heard Schuster's corner tell him, don't let yourself down. And maybe for the first time telling him this guy is for real. Maybe, as you mentioned earlier, Mike, they did not take Labonaire as seriously as they now think they should have. Again, the chant, Jerome, rings through Zenith Arena.
Schuster fighting back like the champion that he is. However, he's still on the losing end of these flurries. You see blood over his left eye now.
And they're going to check it. A slight cut on the eyebrow. The left eye. Schuster, not a problem. He will continue.
That cut is not in a position where the blood will run in his eye, and that's a factor in the doctor's decision to allow him to continue.
Schuster looks spent.
Well, he knows he's got to land a heavy punch or kick to win this fight. He's got to knock Labonaire out. I think it must be in his mind at this point, though, that that is almost an impossible task. Labonaire has absorbed some hard shots from Schuster. Hasn't even looked like it's phased him, much less ready to go down. I don't think Schuster has enough left to hit any harder than that in this 5th round. Kick to the head we've seen by Schuster. That obviously designed to try to be a knockout kick. It didn't make it, fell short. Schuster needs to forget the knee strikes inside, Lon. He's got to go for knockout punches and kicks.
Schuster does not seem strong enough at this point to knock out Labonaire, even if he got the opening.
Very smart by Labonaire here in the last round. He's eased up on the pressure. He's just trying to make sure he doesn't get hit with anything heavy.
Schuster comes back with a couple of strong punches. But it may not be enough.
Heavy fatigue on the face of Kurt Schuster.
One last attempt at a kick for a knockout. And there it is. Jerome Labonaire with the upraised fist. And a congratulatory hug from Curtis Schuster. And obviously Labonaire's corner thinks he's won this fight. I don't think Schuster's corner is as confident. Schuster did manage to draw blood from Labonaire in the 5th round, perhaps his most effective round. It's up to the judges now to decide if it was too little, too late.
The crowd is certainly behind Labonaire. You saw the promoter, Sammy Kepchi, who's Labonaire's promoter in Paris, raising the hand of what could be the new champion. Now Labonaire saluting the crowd.
Kurt Schuster is a terrific guy outside the ring, and he is just the perfect type of fighter fighters love to beat as well. The punishment from Lebenair.
That two-punch combination we saw from Lebenair, the right hand followed by the left hook. He did that all night to Schuster and was unanswered in those flurries. Schuster a little off target with his punches.
Le nouveau champion du monde.
The nouveau champion, that is the new champion, Jerome Lebenair, has taken the ISKA Super Heavyweight Muay Thai belt from Curtis Schuster.
And this is a shock, Lon. Curtis Schuster has not had a serious challenge to this belt for 2 years. Lebenair, although the #1 contender, was not really considered to be in a position to beat Schuster at this point, and he has done the near impossible here in Paris.
He came in very well prepared. Schuster, on the other hand, was not ready for Jerome Lebenair. The rest of the world will have to be now. Congratulations to Jerome Lebenair.